You would imagine a dog that young, abandoned, getting hit by a car, to be upset or defensive. But even the first time I went to the animal shelter, he wasn't. He just looked up with his big blue eyes, and the first thing he does is lick you.
Neo was literally a rescue dog. My dad had found him on the side of a road, very badly injured from a hit and run.
Dad took him down to a shelter to see if he could get some care. Unfortunately, the shelter, they couldn't actually help the dog because he wasn't our dog. So a few days later, when the dog was actually open for adoption, we drove by, and that's where I saw him for the first time. He had these big, blue, piercing eyes. I told him that now you're part of our family, and you'll never, ever be alone again. When the vet took a look at Neo's condition, his first response was, amputate this dog's leg.
We were pretty taken aback. In people, obviously, it's a really, really severe decision to decide to amputate, but the veterinarian told us that it was actually pretty common in dogs. But my dad was the last person who saw Neo run right on that freeway before he got hit by the car. And we were all determined to see Neo run again on 4 legs.
So we told the vet that we did not want to do an amputation. So the doctor operated on Neo, put in an implant, and told us, go ahead and take him home. My family actually retrofitted our laundry room with pads and made it as comfortable for him as possible. What we realized was Neo was definitely a pack animal. He did not like being left alone.
When he did cry, it was, I don't even think as much as it was about the pain. It was a lot more, I think, about being alone.
The only way we could keep him from crying and howling and waking up the neighbors was my brother and I would take turns sleeping in the laundry room. I remember days we would walk out covered in fur. We all looked like brothers, dog brothers. But really, that was a time when we really bonded. We took Neo back to the clinic for a checkup. The doctor took an x-ray, and he came back with some pretty difficult news.
We found out that his bones were not healing properly. So at that point, the veterinarian brought up amputation once again. And we were really beside ourselves trying to figure out how we could save Neo's leg. So that's when we went in for a second surgery.
We really wanted to do everything we could to make sure Neo healed.
We got physical therapists. We even kept him at the clinic to try to make sure that he had around-the-clock care.
So a few weeks passed by after the second surgery was done, and then we got a phone call. Neo's second surgery also had failed. The doctor said that what you're asking for is really a very complicated surgery that only a few certified surgeons can perform.
It was at that time that we actually met Dr. B, a really notable specialist, one of those surgeons that gets called in when other surgeries fail. We started asking him, well, is there anything else we can do besides the surgery to help Neo? What Neo needed was something that would help to stimulate his healthy bone turnover, because that's what he was having a problem with. And interestingly enough, my dad is a scientist and had actually developed a complex made out of milk protein that helped with bone density in people. What he thought was, if it helps with positive bone effects on people, why not try to re-engineer that and see if it'll help Neo? We added that nutritional mix to his food every single day. After the third surgery, Dr. B called us in and he said, what exactly was in that product that you gave Neo? Your dog is actually outside in the back running around right now.
That was the first time we saw Neo running around.
It's really kind of crazy because it turned out that the one person who found Neo actually was the one person who could save him. If you see Neo today, you'll see why he needed to have all his legs. Neo is such a bundle of energy. He loves to run. He needs daily walks. And when he meets you, he's going to jump on you and he's going to kiss you.
Finally, they gave him back to us, to our family, to take home. And Dr. B kept on insisting, you guys really should create something like this for other dogs.
The process of developing a product like Boneo wasn't as simple as just adapting a human product for an animal. In order for it to work, we almost had to start thinking like an animal, like a dog. It took 6 months just to get the flavoring right. So even though the process of creating Boneo was an extremely challenging process, it was an equally rewarding experience. And in the end of the day, we have a product now that we can stand behind and truly believe in.
Neo gives us inspiration in everything that we do. That's why the product is called NEO-K9, and that's why you see his smiling face on every single bottle.